Good morning and welcome back for another video. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you, and a big thank you to anyone or everyone who's listened to my videos, who's made a comment. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I want to provide a level of non-biased opinion, truth. I'm in the crypto industry for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm not looking to make any money from any projects or shill any coins, as the phrase is. I'm not here to do any pump and dumps. I'm literally here to spread the knowledge of crypto to people who are from beginners to the advanced, and also learn from other people. There's so many things that I don't know still, that I'm happy to learn. If there are things that I'm wrong or incorrect about, please comment below, and I will do the research to understand and make better videos. So thank you very much everyone who has listened so far. I love making these videos for you guys. So as usual, we always start off with the market cap, but what we'll do this week, I will just do a quick news roundup of the last 5, 6 days, 7 days of crypto news that I might have missed. And we'll go through that. So as starting with the market cap, it's sitting at 130 billion. I think it's similar to what it was a couple of days ago. No real movement. I don't expect markets to start changing until Monday the 7th. There's still a lot of people on holiday from different regions, so I expect the market to pick up from then. Bitcoin still hovering around at $3,800. It can't seem to break through that $4,000 barrier. So very interesting to see if it can break through that next week. And like I mentioned in my Bitcoin prediction video, we really need to get Bitcoin out above 4,200 into the 5,000s, 5,500s by end of January. So that'll be a good in line with hopefully the launch of Backed, which is being postponed. And Ethereum is doing very well. Again, still riding the highs from the Constantinople good news. So it's continuing to rise and continually building a gap between itself and XRP. So what's the news roundup for this week? Something I haven't talked about this week is my first article about proof of keys. So proof of keys, several exchanges said to be failing Bitcoin ownership event. So the idea behind proof of keys, if you didn't understand it or didn't understand what the meaning of this was asking individuals who hold currency on exchanges such as Binance, BTC, Huobi, even probably Coinbase, to take your keys off, take your currency off and hold it offline, whether it be a desktop wallet, something like Exodus or Bitcoin Core, or even a Ledger or a Trezor. So the idea is behind this would be cryptocurrency was invented or created on the back of, well, similar time to the 2008-2009 credit crisis, where in quotations, greedy bankers were lending out money irresponsibly to people who couldn't afford to pay them back, and mortgages were being dished out like candy. And it led to a housing crisis. It led to a credit crisis. The whole point of Satoshi Nakamoto's idea was to make yourself a bank, and that would be hold your own currency, hold your own private keys. So at the moment, the exchanges hold your private keys. It's a safe-ish place to store your money. You can see it on your phone. You can log into Binance or Coinbase, and you can trade on there, and you can see your money and you can see its fluctuations. But whether you're protected from any sort of hack, or whether if everybody wants to take their money out at the same time, whether you will run into difficulties. Similarly, there was a UK bank called Northern Rock around the credit crisis time. People in England would probably know this. It's probably not known as an international bank, but they started failing. Everyone tried taking their money out and was refused or couldn't because the bank doesn't have any money. It's obviously invested in other projects. What you see on your screen on your phone for your bank is not what's in your bank. Your money is somewhere else, and it's on the hope that when you take money out, it comes out. But if everyone starts to take money at the same time, it's not gonna work like that. So similarly with exchanges, if everyone's got Bitcoin held on exchanges and everyone decides to take their money at the same time, will there be enough Bitcoin around on them, what they hold, to distribute it to its customers? There's a theory that there isn't actually that much Bitcoin floating around. I've heard and read and listened to different analysis that maybe there might be only 1 to 4 million Bitcoins floating around out of the 21 million that are there. So obviously 21 million was the original total hard cap of coins. 3 or 4 million have been lost due to lost private keys, people have just thrown their hard drives away, those sort of things, or hacks like the Mt. Gox things. So then that leaves 17 million, and then obviously a lot of them are being held by individuals who are just holding them for the price to go up for many years and haven't really moved off their addresses. So that then leaves a very little actual circulating supply. And actually, how much do the exchanges actually hold themselves? So it's very important that people understand where their money is being held and what happens in the event of a hack, in the event of something like proof of keys. We've heard from other sort of sources, and I think it actually mentions in this article, Hit BTC was an example where people were trying to take money out and they were refused, or their accounts were suspended. So understand where your money is, and understand it's not under your control. So if you decide, just because you've exchanged or transferred Ethereum into them, or used fiat currency and exchanged into cryptocurrency, they hold your currency, they hold the private keys. So you're not fully entitled just to claim it. If they have a day where everybody's trying to withdraw currency, you may find your account suspended. You may find, what I seem to see on a lot of exchanges, they suspend a particular coin, which means if the price is rocketing up of Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin suddenly for some miracle on Monday hit $100,000, I'm sure a lot of people will be pulling money out of exchanges to look to sell or put it or transfer it into Tether or something. You may find logging in, trying to do exchange, trying to send money slow. Generally on the blockchain, yes, but also the fact that they may not have the money to provide you, or the currency to provide you. So yes, be very careful. Understand where your money is. Like I mentioned, I own a Ledger S, Nano S. I just have my currency on there and it's locked away, and I don't plan to connect it up until we hit some really high highs. And whether I ever convert back into fiat, hopefully we'll get to a time where we can buy straight products or items straight into Bitcoin more commonly than just the whole Lambo conversation. So yeah, definitely something to look at, and please be aware of this. So for my next article, it's kind of going over what I spoke about yesterday, and this was from literally a minute ago, the article. It's Ethereum keeps extending its run. So in the last couple of weeks or week, Ethereum's good news has just kept the momentum up of Constantinople, and it's driving the price up and the buys for Ethereum. So hopefully today is, I believe, the 5th of January, so we've only got 11 days left until the hard fork, and I think a lot of people in the Ethereum community, as well as holders of Ethereum, are very excited by this, and this is obviously driving the price. I just hope there isn't any sort of delay. I can't imagine there's going to be a delay on the fact that it's been nailed in on the 16th, but a continuous run up. I believe, in fact, it's more than over the last couple of weeks. I think I read yesterday, which I mentioned on the video, 85%. It had increased over the last couple of weeks, so it's been a resurgence of Ethereum. Obviously, we knew that Ethereum was an undervalued coin. It hit $1,400 in 2017, late December, and it's sitting at $151. So, in my opinion, seemed like a very strong buy for Ethereum with all the good news which is coming out at the moment. So, keep an eye on Ethereum. It's going to hold that number 2 position now, and you never know if backed gets delayed and suddenly there's a decline or a rejection from the SEC with the Bitcoin ETF, and around the time you've got Constantinople in full swing. You know, we may be having that conversation of flippening again. You know, if we look at the market now, obviously there's a quite substantial gap between Bitcoin and Ethereum, around $49 billion. But a few bad days of Bitcoin sell-offs and a few good days of Ethereum, that gap will close down quite quickly. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously we don't want that to happen, especially for Bitcoin holders, but for Ethereum, what's the word? Pro Ethereum people, it'll be a good day. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on these 2 coins, and a lot of good news hopefully in the next few months for both projects. Something else that I don't really like talking about, it's always very negative, and it brings us back to being like traditional companies. This sort of my coin is better than your coin, it's not good for the market. So Craig Wright and Roger Ver are the Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash promoters, or highly invested in these projects. Obviously, Craig Wright is, I think, the billionaire who's invested a lot of money into the SV project, calling Bitcoin a SHIT coin, and it's not what we need. I mean, yes, of course, you're going to have evangelists of different products or different coins, like Andreas Antonopoulos, who's obviously a Bitcoin evangelist, and you have Craig Wright, who's obviously going to be on his project, which is SV, and Roger Ver, was it De Ver, on Bitcoin Cash. But coins can coexist. We don't need this sort of I am better than you and you are better than me. I cannot see it where Bitcoin SV is going to take Bitcoin's position. I can't envisage that happening. Bitcoin's got too much dominance. It's got it's been around way longer than the other coins. There are things going on like the Lightning Network and other sort of side chains and on chains developments that will improve its sort of transaction speeds for scalability. But we don't need this negative drama in the community. This is not a YouTube channel where people are talking bad at each other just to get views to make money. You know, we're a serious industry. We need to be adults, and adults don't talk like this. Unfortunately, this is a business. This is a market. We want to grow this market. We want to hit the highs of 5, 10, 15, 20 trillion dollar market caps for the market. Not talking about my coin is better than your coin, and this coin is faster than Bitcoin, and it's better than XRP, and it's better than Ethereum. And then in a way, that's for a reason why Bitcoin can be so good. There is no owner behind it who talks negatively about other coins. For example, I see Charlie Lee's obviously the founder and creator of Litecoin, I don't see him talking so negatively about Bitcoin. In fact, he promotes Bitcoin and says Litecoin is Bitcoin's silver. So he gets it and he understands these products can coexist. It really annoys me that adults, grown adults, billionaires talk like this. I understand that they're probably passionate about their projects and I understand they've invested a lot of money, but people like me look at this and wince. And I hear other YouTubers talking about exactly the same thing. They just wince and it's embarrassing. This infighting. We should be harmonized as a community with projects. Projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, EOS, Litecoin, Stellar, IOTA. These are fantastic, fantastic projects. They've all got potentially real world solutions, and we don't need them to be arguing amongst each other. Just get on with your own projects, make some money, change the world, and make traditional markets look at us and say they're doing it right. They're doing what we should be doing. I don't want to get too passionate or emotional about this, but I just think it's totally, totally pointless. I mean, the fact that people are using Twitter to argue, it feels like a Donald Trump-esque rant, and there he is on the right. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but it's just, if in a miraculous world where any of these creators would be listening, please just stick to your own projects. Don't worry about what other people are doing. This is not a boxing match. We're not here to make a show. This is not entertainment. This is about making real world changes, solutions, solving problems, and changing the world. I've done boxing in the past where, obviously you see on the TV they trash talk each other, but that's just for show. Ultimately, when you're training for boxing, you're doing what you're doing. You're not too interested in what other person is going to do. Yeah, you're going to learn about their sort of techniques and things like that, but you have to fix yourself before you start looking at other people about what's going on in their house. So please, people out there, if you're listening, stick to your own projects and just make your own projects better. And if you want Bitcoin SV to be better than Bitcoin, just make your project better. Make a project better. Make changes. Invest. Get the right people. Develop the right things. Find innovation where we need innovation in this world. And let's just get all together and move on with this. So yeah, sorry, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I just need to rant out that because I've heard it a few times and I just totally agree with the other YouTubers who just say exactly the same thing. So I'm harmonizing with those guys. So the next article was about XRP, our favorite coin, or one of our favorite coins, and a $750 million move between multiple accounts follows the path taken by Coinbase. So I believe in January, literally, this article was written on the 2nd. So a lot of XRP moving between a number of different accounts. OTC, which is over the counter, so it doesn't show up on exchange, so it doesn't. I believe the way it works with OTC is you buy it over the counter. It doesn't run through the exchange. It does obviously go through the blockchain because obviously it has to, but it doesn't go through its 24-hour volume on websites like CoinMarketCap. So it obviously would affect the price, and you would see massive changes within a couple of hours of 24-hour volume. So what's going on? Is this potentially companies like Coinbase buying a XRP to have liquidity to list it? Is it other institutional banks or investors or hedge funds or private equity firms buying up XRP? We obviously don't know. We don't know what these addresses point to. Obviously, as it mentions about unknown wallets. So this is more of a wait and watch type thing. I mean, it's very, very good to hear that these sort of amounts are being moved. I hope it's just moving into exchanges who are buying up more XRP and people like Coinbase. And obviously, we're still waiting to hear what the next coin they're going to list. I think it's going to be Stellar or maybe one other they mentioned from last year, which they haven't listed yet. But again, just positive news coming out in January of the fact that there's a lot of market movement with the currencies, and obviously XRP is one of them. So watch. Let's see what happens. January is going to be very exciting. So we will see. So I just want to finish off with an article which has got me mixed feelings. So, ad campaign for Winklevoss-led crypto exchange Gemini raises eyebrows. So, what they've done is they've put out this ad, and it said "Crypto needs rules in New York sidewalk." So, under it says the regulated cryptocurrency exchange, and you've got a Twitter comment, and it says rules like mathematics. Sure, crypto needs that. Rules like KYC, AML, licensing, taxation, Patriot Act, bit license, BS. No, crypto doesn't need that. So, are they pandering to New York? Because obviously, as we know, New York is a very anti-cryptocurrency state. I don't think a lot of the coins on Coinbase actually you can purchase if you're in a jurisdiction of New York. So are they pandering to that? Should they pander to New York? Do we need New York, compared to the other sort of countries out there which are opening arms to cryptocurrency exchanges to house themselves there? Countries such as Malta and Switzerland and Japan, who are happily opening their arms to take you guys in and set up projects in those countries, and providing a lot of benefit and safe haven for these projects. I understand that Winklevoss twins are trying to almost crack America and get them on the side, and I can see from their perspective, they're a business, they're there to make money. But do we need to pander to these people? They should be knocking on our doors. In about 5 years' time, for anybody, any company or institute or government body who has said no to cryptocurrency, they'll be trying to knock down and break down doors of exchanges and companies who are involved in cryptocurrency to work with them, or maybe set up an office in their state or country, and to provide taxation benefits. So am I totally agree with this? From an individual's perspective, possibly no, but I do understand of possibly why the Winklevoss twins are trying to possibly lure more people into this, to get them talking, to get some sort of discussion between regulatory bodies in the state to allow cryptocurrency. I know I believe the mayor of New York is very anti cryptocurrency. Again, possibly not understanding what cryptocurrency can do for them, what it can do for the country, what it can do for the state. So, what do you guys think? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we be pandering to traditional markets or government bodies? Do we need them? Do we need them to grow? And it seems like with the prices, possibly yes, for prices such as Bitcoin, we do need investors, and we need regulatory bodies. Simply with Backed, we're waiting for CFTC approval. Backed can not go ahead, and without that, we won't see will we see a price surge? So if Backed was declined suddenly and ICE said closed up shop, would we still hit the heights of 100,000, 150,000, $500,000 to buy Bitcoin without these guys? So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.